Good morning, friends. We continue our reading this morning of 1 Samuel. So, friends, please do take a moment, post a greeting, like this video. If you've not done so yet, subscribe to the channel. And by all means, feel free to share this onto your social media with a friend. Share away. Let's start as we always do by taking a look at the big picture. First and Second Samuel. I know I say this all the time, but it's always good to be reminded of this. First and Second Samuel originally, historically, were one book. We don't read them that way anymore. We aren't reading them that way here. We're reading First Samuel. So here's First Samuel. By the fact that the background picture is David being anointed, you can tell we are at a point where David's lifeline, as they put it here, is on the rise. Saul's is not. We're starting chapter 17 today. We come across an old familiar foe. That would be the Philistines. And this will definitely be a moment where David starts to get recognition, and that will bring conflict between the future king, who has already been anointed to be king, and the one who is still king, but shall not be for long. Let's pull up the reading windows. Left-hand column, Jewish Bible. Right-hand column, a Christian Bible. We've got the Complete Jewish Bible and the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition side by side. I will be reading from the left-hand column from the Complete Jewish Bible. I may make reference from time to time to the right-hand column for something more than just explaining the differences between Jewish biblical language and Christian biblical language. Yes, there is a difference in how certain persons, places, and things are called in Jewish biblical tradition. Like right away, let's just go through some of these early ones. Plishtim, yes, that is the Philistines. Yehuda is Judah. The next two, just the spelling that, but not the pronunciation. Goliath. Goliath? Yeah, well, yes, that's Goliath. Gat instead of Gath. Little things. Most of the time they're little and subtle. Most of the time. Good morning, Anthony. Let's read, friends. The Plishtim rallied their troops for war, assembling at Soka in Yehuda and setting up camp between Soka and Azekah in Ephes Damim. Saul, And the men of Israel assembled, set up camp in the Elah valley, and drew up their battle line opposite the Pelishtim. The Pelishtim occupied a position on one hill, and Israel and a The Pelishtim occupied a position on one hill, and Israel a position on another hill, with a valley between them. There came out a champion from the camp of the Pelishtim, named Goliath from Gath, who was 9 feet 9 inches tall. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration. Might be. Probably is. He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he wore a bronze armor plate weighing 120 pounds. He had bronze armor protecting his legs and a bronze javelin between his shoulders. The shaft of his spear was as big as a weaver's beam. His shield armor went ahead of him. He stood and yelled at the armies of Israel, "Why have you come out and draw up a battle line? I'm a Philistine, and you are servants of Shaul. So choose a man for yourselves and let him come down to me. If he can fight me and kill me, we'll be your slaves. But if I beat him and kill him, you will become slaves and serve us." The Plishti added, "I challenge Israel's army today. Give me a man and we'll fight it out." When Shaul and all Israel heard those words of the Plishti, they were shaken and terrified. Now David was the son of that Ephrathite from Bethlehem in Yehuda, named Jesse. He had 8 sons, and in the time of Shaul he was old. The years had taken their toll. Yeshai's 3 oldest sons had followed Shaul to battle. The names of his 3 sons who went to battle were Eliab, the firstborn, Eliab. Remember, we know from when David was anointed, Eliab is a strong man. Next to him, Abinadab, and the third, Shammah. David was the youngest. The 3 oldest followed Shaul. David went back and forth from Shaul to pasture his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Meanwhile, the Plishti approached with his challenge every morning and evening for 40 days. Yishai said to David his son, "Please take your brothers 5 bushels of this roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread. Hurry and carry them to your brothers at the camp. Also bring these 10 cheeses to their field officer. Find out if your brothers are well and bring back some token from them. Shaul and your brothers, with all the army of Israel, are in the Elah Valley fighting the Plishtim. David got up early in the morning, left the sheep with a helper, took his load, and set out, as Yeshai had ordered him. He arrived at the barricade of the camp just as the troops were going out to their battle stations and shouting the war cry. Israel and the Plishtim had set up their battle lines facing each other. David left his equipment in charge of the equipment guard, ran to the troops, went to his brothers, and asked if they were well. As he was talking with them, there came the champion, the Plishti from Gath, named Goliath, from the ranks of the Plishtim, saying the same words as before, and David heard them. When the soldiers from Israel saw the man, they all ran away from him terrified. The soldiers from Israel said to each other, "You saw that man who just came up. He has come to challenge Israel. To whoever kills him, the king will give a rich reward. He'll also give him his daughter and exempt his father's family from all service and taxes in Israel." David said to the men standing with him, "What reward will be given to the man who kills this Plishti and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Plishti anyway, that he challenges the armies of the living God?" The people answered with what they had been saying, adding, "That's what will be done for the man who kills him." Eliab, his oldest brother, heard when David spoke to the men, and it made Eliab angry at him. He asked, "Why did you come down here? With whom did you leave those few sheep in the desert? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You just came down to watch the fighting." David said, "What have I done now? I only asked a question." He turned away from him to someone else and asked the same question, and the people gave him the same answer. We're going to pause there, friend. But next time that we pick up 1 Samuel, verse 31 of chapter 17. Well, so we didn't read much. There's obviously some long verses there. 1731. That's where we'll pick up next time when we read from 1 Samuel. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Audrey. Have a blessed Friday, dear friends. Peace be with you.